So I just saw a video of Naoya Inoue annihilating Worlito Perenas in 2 rounds, man. 2 fucking rounds. This guy is a fucking problem, man. Naoya Inoue has to be, pound for pound, one of the hardest punchers in the fucking sport. I mean, the crazy thing is, it seems like he's really gained more power since moving up to 115 from 108. And I'd say that probably has to do with, not draining himself to such a degree, because like he just seems overall more athletic. Like at 108, he seemed like a really skilled fighter, but one who was like relatively listless in terms of, taking his foot off the gas a little bit because he was worried about, gassing out. He was worried about getting tired in the later rounds. So he didn't really press the action. But at 115, he's pressing the action like right from the opening bell. He's coming at you with everything. And I mean, I think the other part of it too is, I mean, you got to think he's 22, so he's just growing into his man strength for real. So I mean, man, the sky's the limit for this guy. This shit is ridiculous. I mean, he took out Narvaez, who was the top 115 pounder, probably one of the best 115 pounders, in the past like few decades, really. Probably like since like almost the inception of the weight class. I mean, outside of like a Martin Castillo or like a what was the other guy's name? I can't think of his name now, man. Martin Castillo and dude that was his rival, or like the Galaxy twins, Kosai Galaxy and his brother, Kawakor. But man, ridiculous power, skills like a motherfucker. Like I almost want to compare him to like he's like a mini Felix Trinidad, but I mean he seems to, in my opinion, to have really more skills than Trinidad. I mean he could fight off the back foot just as well as he fights off the front. I mean he was mostly fighting off the back foot in his days at 108. Now at 115 he's just crushing guys. I mean crushing them, and he has way more confidence in his power, and I mean just his hand speed, got the timing down. He's catching these guys with these left hooks, these nasty check hooks, and it's over. Like as soon as he lands on them, it's pretty much over, man. It's gonna be real interesting to see when he manages to fight, guys that are a little more proven, guys that are like more consistently proven is really what I'm trying to say. Like Roman Gonzalez, who's consistently dominated elite opposition, or Francisco Estrada, who's consistently dominated top level championship level opponents. Man, and it's almost hard to favor anybody over Inoue. I mean the one thing that's really stands in his way right now is general inexperience and really going late rounds against a fellow elite fighter. So I mean time will tell as far as that's concerned, but I mean, it's really, really hard to really favor much of anybody over this guy. I mean, I'm honestly, the only guy right now I'd probably like legitimately favor over him at 115 would be Roman Gonzalez if he moves up, and even then, that's 50-50 shit right there. I mean, other than that, I think he probably takes out everybody at 115. Carlos Cuadras, definitely Kohei Kono, Concepcion, all them dudes. And like everybody at 118, I'd favor him over too. I mean, like he'd have to like go all the way up to like a Rigondeaux for me to favor somebody over him, and even that's not a given, man. Because this guy, he's got some fucking skills, he's got some fucking power, and he's a serious problem, man. I mean, shit, we might be looking at future pound for pound #1 right here, like in a long time, a long reigning type guy too. Man, whenever it happens between him and Gonzalez, man, that's gonna be historical shit right there. That's gonna be Carbajal versus Chiquita Gonzalez all over again. That's gonna be Castillo versus Alexander Munoz. That's what that guy's name was. All over again. He's like, this guy is legitimately got to be one of the nastiest flyweight area weight class fighters ever right now, man. Like I mean, say like you have to really compare him to the all-time greats, to like the Benito Lopez's of the world, in order to really put this dude in context, as insofar as like the sheer dominance and destructive level of ability that he's showing out right now. I'm very impressed. man, major props.